Hello. So glad that you're here. I'm Shawnee Allridge. I'm a real estate broker and appraiser. Been in business for over 23 years. And I just wanted to share some things with you. If you're a new agent and you're getting into business right now, you're probably doing a whole lot of information gathering. You're probably, listening to different people's perspective, taking in their insight and trying to put it all together so that you can have a great career and a great run at your career. And so what people end up doing a lot of times and they get out of the business early on is that they get burnt out. They are overwhelmed and they don't know how to manage this business. And it's a lot, especially if you don't know what you don't know. Okay. So what I want to do is share 5 things that I believe that will prevent you from feeling burnt out and just, getting out of the business. Okay. We want to avoid that from happening. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about these things. You're going to implement them when you start your business and you're going to be successful. All right, let's go. First things first, you can't do it all, right? And you can't do it all the time. Okay. You got to turn it off. You got to turn it off. You may feel like, hey, I'm up at 9 o'clock at night. I can talk to a client if they're just, needing some questions answered. No. Now, if it's your best friend or something like that, and you always talk on the phone with him or her, okay, that's fine. But you don't want to start something that really will show that you don't have any respect for your business. Okay. The doctor's office, your attorney, okay, at grocery stores, pretty much everyone has a cutoff time. They're closing. They open and they close and they open and they closing. You got to be the same way. Okay. Maybe you are up at 9 o'clock at night, but we're not talking about this real estate transaction. Maybe you are up at 6 or 7, but we're not talking about this right now, right? Normal business hours is really important. It's also important that you take the time, and this is hard because when I got started, I just felt like I was a single mom and I just felt like I didn't really have an excuse to take time off and time to myself. I just felt like I had to sacrifice my time and even sacrifice time with my daughter so that I can be available for the client. I was really at the client's beck and call. Like it was, and I didn't mind it, right? But it wore me the heck out. It really did. And you want to be around, you want to be present for your children and present for your friends and your family and things like that, and present for yourself. So you got to set boundaries and make them clear, right? When you first have your consult with your client or prospective client, you let them know, hey, my work hours are this and this, and I take off time for Sabbath, or I take out time on Sundays because we worship, whatever that is. You know what I mean? Like you let them know. And you're just a real person. If you say, hey, I take off on Tuesdays because that's my day to go to the spa and, it's my me day, share that. You are a real person, okay? You are a professional too. But you gotta set the boundaries. And guess what? People respect it because they just need to know. Let them know so that they know I can't call him today because he's not going to be available. Or if I call him, he may not respond to the next day. Okay, if I call her tonight at 9 o'clock, she may not respond. She may or she may not. I can't expect her to, right? So it's important that you set the boundary at the onset. People just need to know ahead of time. You're managing expectations. Just like when you go to a store and they have their hours on the door, right? You read that and you know exactly what's going on. You're like, okay, well, we got to come back tomorrow because they're closed. Yeah. You must do that because you are running a business. Okay. Okay. The next thing, and I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of all these things. Okay. But now in my career, no. So I know some agents who've been in the business for as long as me, and they still do this, but I don't think you should, especially if you're trying to have a life, right? And you want to be, strategic about like your business and like where you are. So here goes. You can't chase every lead. I know you may have someone way on the north side, they want to buy this house, and you may have someone who's way on the south side that want to buy this house or sell this house. You have to be willing to uh, bridge relationships with other agents to where maybe you can refer that deal out, right? If you're having to drive 3 hours to a place to manage a listing 3 hours away, that's a lot of work. On top of that, you may not even have access to their multiple listing service, which means if you don't, you need to become a member of that multiple listing service. And that's an extra fee, additional fee. So you got to be really mindful of where you're going to be operating your business, okay? Whatever state you're in, I'm in Georgia, but whatever state that you're in, there's a city or a side of town that you are most familiar with. You know it like the back of your hand. If you don't know it, you live in a particular city that you can begin to learn like the back of your hand. You know the streets. You know that red light is so long. You know the shortcut. You know the restaurant is brand new, the new grocery store. Like, you know the area. They've expanded the roads or whatever. Like, you know the area so well. And you can really help your prospective client to understand this too and things like that. So you want to, instead of chasing the leads all over your state, right? Instead of doing that, how about you say, I primarily work in this particular area, this radius, okay? And then in your mind, you may say, well, I will go about an hour and a half out, maybe, right? If not, I have a referral partner over here in that area, and I have one over here in that area. That's being professional. That's not saying that I'm not smart enough or I'm not good enough to be able to, handle that transaction. But the reality is, if you have to drive 2 hours north, what about picking the kids up? What about the wear and tear on your vehicle? The wear and tear on you, like just the drive alone, is 2 hours there, but it's 2 hours back, right? So you think about that, right? Now, for me, I promise you, I was all over the place. I would go to get my car serviced, and the people there would be scratching their heads like, why do you have so many miles? Like, why are you back already for an oil change? Why do you need new tires already? I'm a real estate agent. And that was my reason. And they were like, oh, okay, well, makes sense and stuff. They just, make sense. But really, that doesn't make sense to be doing all that riding around. Maybe it does, but I kind of think that it doesn't. And that wore me out. Okay, I would be so frustrated at the end of my day. Even if I had a great transaction to close and I had a great compensation check, I would still be wore out, right? Because again, I didn't really set the boundary. I really was like, I'll take whatever comes my way and things like that. When you don't really have to take it like that, you don't have to take whatever comes your way. You can just say, hey, I'm going to refer it out to my partner, right? And then your partner is able to get paid. You will get paid because you referred it. Yeah. So you can still get paid and you can still somewhat participate in the transaction too, right? And now your client's thinking, oh, wow, I have this person and this person who's here to assist me and answer my questions and concerns. Okay. So be mindful. You may say, well, Shani, listen, I'm taking it all, my first year. Okay, that's fine, but you're going to get burnt out, right? But if you decide, hey, I'm going to take this lead and refer it and then maybe participate in some kind of way, there we go. Okay. All right. So the next thing you want to make sure of to avoid burnout is to have a mentor or some sort of support system. And when I say support system, I mean some people who are in the industry, right? Whether it be another real estate sales practitioner, an attorney friend, a home inspector, like people who really understand that this is being of service, right? Y'all have similar clients who have similar concerns, right? They're buying a home and they want to do it right. They don't want to, have these mistakes being made. So having that support system is really, really important, but being particular about who's in that support system is important too. Having a mentor is really good. So for me, I got into business. My mother was my mentor. And when I got my license to sell real estate, she got her license to be a broker because she had been in real estate for years. And so I just went right into her business. So I had already kind of seen her running her business as while in school. But when I was able to be actually a practitioner, just watching her, just she's leading by example, seeing how she communicates with her clients, how she helps them to understand what's going on and things like that. I just kind of modeled her. So I really was like a copycat because I didn't really know what to do. I mean, down to how I dressed. I'm like, okay, she dressed this way, let me dress that way. So you want to find someone you can connect with that will mentor you. And I didn't look at her like my competition. And she didn't look at me like I was her competition either. It was more like, I want to help her. I want to help her grow. And when she does well, when I did well, she was so happy. Like she would feed into my enthusiasm. Like any kind of idea I had, she would listen and, and say, hey, this is great. Or, don't do that. Don't even say that type of thing. So you want to have a mentor because they are ready and willing to pour into you, and they really want to see you do well. Okay. And a lot of times having a mentor, like how with my mother and I, our dynamic was the better I did, it would benefit her, right? She's the broker. She's the owner of the business. So when I bring in clients and my clients are satisfied and we close them out and I earn compensation, of course she's benefiting from it. So it would be great if you had a mentor situation to where, hey, if they help you, you do well. When you do well, y'all both do well. Automatic, right? So, but nonetheless, you want to find a situation where you have a mentor, you have a support system, go ahead and start cultivating relationships. You're not going to have a million friends in the business. You're just not. There's too many of us. It's just not possible. But if you had a few friends in the business that you can actually talk to about stuff and you know that you can confide in them about the client and things like that and about the situation, the transaction, it makes a difference. It does, because you need someone to talk to, right? About something. Maybe you came at it wrong. Maybe you're not seeing it clearly. Having that support system, having that mentor, it really helps. And it's going to make you become a better practitioner. It's going to make you also have a look at how you're doing your business, right? And to examine it and see where you can fix some things, fill in some holes. Maybe you're not doing stuff right this time. It's okay. We all make mistakes, but how can you fix it, right? Because doing it this way didn't serve you well or your client well. So having a mentor and a support system is really important. It's going to really help you to avoid burnout. Okay. All right. So another way to avoid burnout is to be organized. And I know it's like organized. What does that look like? As simple as truly, because for a long time, this is what I did. I would put it on the calendar. I would write it out and put it, have a notebook, and I'll write down my notes and things like that, my to-do list, I call it. Scratch right through it or check it. And then I would always put it on the calendar. I love calendars because you can add the address of where you have to go. You can put some notes in there. You can put the time frame of what you're going to take. If it's from 3 to 6 or whatever, you can put that in there, and it keeps you on task, right? You can make the calendar remind you a week ahead of time, some days ahead of time. It's perfect. And so you gotta stay organized, because if you can keep everything up here, then you're not really that busy. Unless you're some sort of genius or something like that. In that case, then there's always an exception to the rule. But for most of us, when you have 10 things to do in one day, you can't keep it all up here. You got to put it on the calendar. You got to put it in your notes. And then you live by it. Hey, if it's not on the calendar, then I'm not doing it. And people start to learn that about you too. They'll say, well, it wasn't on the calendar. And I had to train my friends and train people around me. My daughter is really good with like the calendar. And now she's like, I put it on the calendar. And I'm like, oh, you sure did. So staying organized is really important. Also, when you start to grow your business, you want to create a customer relationship manager system. And so what that is just you're managing all your customers in this database, right? And it's telling you like, hey, you spoke to this person this day. You sent them a text message that day. You sent them an email. They're in this funnel. This is their information. This is their anniversary when they sold the home or bought the home. And so it's you keeping it the organized part of your business together, because Once you have things organized, you can just always go back to it. You can always refer to it. If there's something there, you can manage yourself better with that. You can, and then really it's quite impressive when you look at what you have accomplished throughout this whole entire day or week. And you're like, wow, I'm quite remarkable. I got all these things done. Sometimes you don't get everything done in one day. Okay, well then that will roll over to the next day. The reality is it's going to get done because it's important, it's prioritized, it's on the calendar, right? Really, really important. You may forget what year it was that this person purchased their home. You may forget their birthday if there's something you want to keep up with. But when you have it in your customer relationship management system, you have everything organized, right? So there's so many different ways to keep your business organized, but for the just down to the bare basic of it, putting things on the calendar and sticking with it, color coding it. I color code things so I know exactly what it is. I have it in there, and it's like something that will happen every single day or every year. Some things just stay on there, right? Even down to when you wake up to go work out, your workout regimen, put that on there, okay? Picking the kids up, put that on there. Taking my mom to the doctor's office, put that on there. And so everything, you just work around it. I can't do that today, right? Because you know that the travel time it takes to get to wherever you have to go, that appointment, right? To meet the clients and show them, the 6 houses. There's travel time that we have to allocate, right? You got to get back to the house. So all these different things, you have it on the calendar. Hey, you ready to go? You organized. Okay. Very good. Okay. The last thing that I want to share that I feel like will really resonate with you, especially during these days and time where life is getting heavier and more stressful. We're all concerned about a lot of different things. And when you are consumed with your clients and work and the children, right? And your parents and your friends, you're consumed with all of the other things, right? But what about you? And a lot of times we come last. And, we hope that somebody will see and kind of insert themselves and say, hey, let me take care of these things for you so that you can. No, everyone is tied up and busy. What you got to do is talk about organization, right? Put it on the calendar. For me, I'm getting my hair done every Thursday. It's happening. Unless something crazy goes down, then I can't. But it's on the calendar. So if anyone was trying to schedule anything on my scheduling system, Thursday is already blocked off. Thursday not even open. Okay. Don't be afraid to spend a little money on yourself. I want you to really budget your compensation check. Don't get crazy with it and spending money and all this kind of stuff. You have a tight budget and you stick with it. But anyhow, don't be too shy to take yourself out to dinner, right? Buy yourself that nice dress that you wanted, that perfume that you wanted. Once you've had a deal to close, do something for yourself. It could be the smallest little thing, whatever, but it was just for you. Okay, you went and got a sandwich. You didn't buy the food for the whole family to this time, okay? You got your own sandwich. So just think about that, because you are important, you are special, you are the business, and you have to be healthy and happy and full of energy. Just think about it. Would you work with you? If you were a client or a customer and you were getting ready to identify who's going to be your real estate agent to sell your home, do you want someone who doesn't look well? Someone who looks disheveled? No. You want someone who, appears to be present and healthy and vibrant and smart and, on top of things. You want that type of real estate agent representing you and your family. Okay? So take care of yourself. You must do it. You must actually carve out a day, carve out a few hours of just where it's just you're doing nothing but you or whatever you want to do. It's not for anyone else but you. You got to do it. And the sooner you start doing that, the better. And it's not like you're being selfish. You're being smart and wise, because the whole objective is to be in real estate for a long haul. You want to be in there for about 10 years or so at minimum, right? Until you maybe elevate to something else. I don't know what that is, but you want to do it for a minute so you can make the kind of income that you see the people that you admire make, right? So do things for yourself, a vacation, going to the spa, going, I don't know, going to a concert, going to a game, going to a museum. But take some time out to cater to yourself, self-care, working out, whatever it is, doing it just for you. Okay. Okay. I know that was a lot, but you'll be fine. Just start doing it, right? You're like, oh, dang, Shawnee, all this stuff. Just start doing it and let everyone else know, like your friends and family, let them know, hey, I'm moving differently now. I'm going to throw everything on the calendar. Like, let them know, they'll get used to it. Okay. Because you're trying to be the best real estate practitioner of all time. And the way to do that is to listen to, other subject matter experts and follow their lead, right? So you're going to get yourself a mentor, you're going to do all those things. You're going to get organized. You're going to take time out for yourself. Yeah. So do all these things. Just start implementing these things right away. Don't even waste time. We're going to start next week. No, start today. Okay. Start today. All right. Good luck.